In today's video, I am going to be breaking down some after timeout ATO Baseline Inbounds Plays. These are going to be great plays to be able to run if you want a quick hitting basket after, let's say, an out of bounds, or maybe just whatever situation that happened and you need a quick basket after a timeout. These are the plays for you. Really quickly, if you want to be able to stop a ton of plays that other teams are going to try and run against you, make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. Okay, so in this first ATO, after timeout baseline inbounds play, we're going to have two players set up, our tallest player set up in the post, and we're going to have two of our better shooters up here. Basically, what's going to happen is player 4 is going to be setting a screen for both player 2 and player 1. Player 2 is going to use that screen. He's going to curl around and sprint out to that side three-point line. Player 1 is going to do the exact same route, except he's going to curl, and then he's going to go through players 4 and 5, and they're going to close, and this is going to be the elevator screen. So basically, our first option is player 2 potentially out there, player 1 going through the elevator, these guys closing, and then we would have our first potential option in player 2, but this is more of a decoy than anything else. Our secondary option is player 1. This would really technically be our number 1 option. And then safety, player 4 pops out, player 5 posts up if neither of these two players are open. Now this second ATO play, we're going to have player 5 sprint around and then through players 1 and 4. They're going to close after he gets through. This is going to be a elevator screen for a center going towards the post. And then they're going to turn their direction and screen for player 2, who would then be having player 1 and 4 setting that staggered screen. If neither of our two players are open, this being our number 1 option and this being our number 2 option, we would then have player 4 sprint off towards the corner and player 1 try to be a safety out up top. These are our two safeties. Get the ball inbound as fast as possible if you cannot hit the first two players. Another great play that you can run after a timeout is having player 2 back screen player 1. You could even have player 5 here as well. That's also another option if you wanted a big man to do this. But player 2 sets the back screen on player 5. He's going to then sprint to the basket. This could be our first option if we needed a 2-point play. However, if we don't necessarily need that, our secondary option is player 2 coming off of that screen, going through the elevator, and this would be our secondary option. Player 4 being a safety after if player 2 or 5 are not open. This play actually really confuses a lot of teams because this back screen they may call switch, which means that there's a slower man guarding player 2 so that when he goes through the elevator, he should be wide open when that happens. The other bonus is if they were to switch and player 5 switches off, well, guess what? Now he's got a shorter player guarding him who's a bit taller. So that's kind of the bonus in this situation. Now, if you have a player who may not be guarded out on the three-point line, that would be generally our center. They're not going to generally guard a center out on the three-point line. So if we can get that pass into him, or if maybe not, maybe have him pop out, we just want that pass to go into player 5. Because now we're going to have a screen for player 3. Player 5 is going to dribble into this dribble handoff. Player 3 gets that ball. At the same time, we're going to be having an off-ball screen on this side. So that now when player 3 comes off of this screen, we're going to have player 5 popping, player 2 rolling to the basket, and now player 3 has the opportunity to pass to 4 or 2 or just to take the ball to the rim himself. Now this next play, all of our guys are going to be going in a circle. They're going to be sprinting in a circle. Now wherever they end up, it doesn't necessarily matter. They just pop out to their side. So when one of them says go, they're going to sprint out. Player 5 may go to the low block. Player 4 may go to the low block here. Player 1 may sprint out here. Player 2 may sprint out here. But basically, they need to find an open spot. Meanwhile, they're sprinting in a circle non-stop. This just basically confuses the defense. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below.